Hi students, welcome to session 2 of Air Around Us. Students, in the previous session we studied about something about air and composition of air. So the main constituents of air are nitrogen and oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, dust and smoke. This is what we studied in previous session. So in today's session we will continue this lesson and we will learn about air that supports life. So let us start with today's interesting session. Yes students. Students, we all need air to survive. And we know that air contains oxygen and carbon dioxide which are useful to plants and animals. Plants use carbon dioxide of the air or from the air to make their own food by a process called photosynthesis. Now let us see how air supports life in plants and animals. Yes, in plants. Students, we will now study about air that supports life in plants. We know that plants have tiny pores called stomata found on the underside or underneath of a leaf, and air containing carbon dioxide and oxygen enters the plant through these openings where it gets used in photosynthesis and respiration. So basically there are very small or tiny pores called stomata which are found on underside of a leaf, and this makes it possible for the exchange of gases in plants, and it helps plants to make their own food, and this process is known as photosynthesis. Means preparation or manufacturing of food in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Now let us see how air supports life in animals. Yes. Students, we know that all animals need to respire, be it a cockroach, a fish, a whale or an elephant or a crocodile, etc. And they all have different organs to respire. It is just that they use different organs and mechanisms for respiration. Like insects, like cockroach, housefly, etc. How do they respire? Yes, they respire. Insects respire through tiny holes in their body called spiracles. There are other animals or organisms too that use different organs and mechanisms for respiration. Like insects, they respire through spiracles. And there are other animals like earthworms. Now earthworms take in air through their skin surface. So basically the skin is kept moist with the help of a substance called mucus. So remember that there is mucus. This is a substance which keeps the skin moist of earthworms. And oxygen of the air gets directly absorbed through the moist skin and carbon dioxide is given out. This is the mechanism of respiration in earthworms. Now students, here I would like to discuss one more thing, that sometimes we wrongly use the term breathing and respiration interchangeably. But remember that these two processes are different ones. Sometimes we wrongly use these terms, but basically breathing is a physical process, while respiration is a chemical process. So breathing is a physical process of taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide, whereas respiration is a chemical process by which glucose in the body breaks down to give energy. So always remember the difference between breathing and respiration. Now what were we talking about? Earthworms, right? Earthworms take in air through their skin surface, and the skin is kept moist with the help of a substance called mucus. But students, have you ever seen earthworms that come into driveways and sidewalks in rainy season? Do you know why they come out? Yes, earthworms come to the surface during rains because they can travel more quickly in moist conditions, as exposure to direct sunlight can kill the earthworms. Therefore, they come out only in moist conditions so that they can travel without dehydrating, means loss of water from their body. And it is also believed that when there is excessive rain, the soil becomes waterlogged and the earthworms cannot breathe. So this is one fact which we should keep in mind. Right, so that was all about the air that supports life in plants and in animals, in general animals which live on land or in burrows. Now let us discuss about the air that supports life in other type of animals, means the animals that always live in water. Yes, aquatic animals. Students, most aquatic animals such as fish, tadpoles, crabs and shrimps have special organs for respiration called gills. So basically they take in the air dissolved in water. Like when water enters the body of the fish through the mouth, it flows over the gills, and gills help to take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. Even there are some aquatic animals such as dolphins and whales. They come to the surface of the water regularly to take in air, since they breathe with the help of lungs. Now other than animals, there are aquatic plants too, such as hydrilla. There is an aquatic plant called hydrilla. Now this is an aquatic plant which also take in air dissolved in water through tiny pores called stomata. So in this way, air supports life in aquatic animals. Now let us see that how air supports life in amphibians. Students, amphibians such as frogs, newts and salamanders need breathing systems for both air and water. So there are some animals like crocodiles and alligators. They swim through water with a part of their snout above the water surface so that they can breathe easily through their nostrils. Even there are frogs, and they have well-developed lungs to breathe air when they are on land. And in water, frogs breathe with the help of their moist skin. So in amphibians, like frogs, they breathe with the help of their lungs when they are on land, and they breathe with the help of their moist skin when they are in water. Right, so that was all about the air that supports life in plants, in animals, in aquatic animals, and in amphibians. In the next session, we will continue the same topic. Till then, enjoy and have a nice time. Thank you, students.